innovation. So I'm going to be teaching you how you can think about innovation, how you can bring innovation into your business, how innovation actually happens. So it doesn't matter what scope of business you are into, whether you are into you sell products or you manufacture products. Innovation, it is like more or less like a lifeline for any business, 21st century business. So before we start, I want you guys to watch a video. I'm going to play a video right now, and you're going to watch, and then we're going to have a little bit of feedback, right? So let me just share the screen for the video. I'm going to share the screen for the video while I also share my own screen too. Okay, so let's watch.
What is innovation? Visions and solutions are based on psychology, as well as many conclusions too. Some companies build their entire businesses on these known dots. This we know as the status quo, business as usual. One day, someone comes along and sees one or more dots beyond the commonly agreed upon dots. Dots that others missed, dots that are ignored, dots that others have long since forgotten about. Some like these new dots and celebrate this new discovery, liking how things currently are, comfortable everyday dots. Some protest these new dots. Some even claim they aren't valid, or worse, are imaginary dots that don't even exist. Yet, it's these new
Hello guys, I'm really sorry I had network challenges. I had to change the network I was using. Were you able to watch the video? Were you able to watch the video, guys? Were you able to watch
Definitely. I was watching the video when I think there was a network discrepancy somewhere, so I didn't complete watching it.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to put it on right now. Yeah.
Okay then. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll put it on so you just watch. Yeah. So so let's just watch the video again one more time. Yeah, so I'm going to start it.
What is innovation? Life is made up of dots. Many, in fact most people, believe that the dots they see every day are all the dots there are. So life goes along according to these known dots. Yet, it's these new dots that potentially change everything. What is the source of these new dots? Notions, unexpected connections, ideas, possibilities, and imagination. Fire was one of these dots. So is the wheel, and the bicycle, and the tornado.
In fact, many of today's common dots were at one time uncommon, newly introduced dots. So what is innovation? Those other dots, the ones others miss, and having the certainty to know that the dots you see are not only valid, but necessary if the world is to move forward.
Can you hear me? Who watched the video? Watch the video, please.
All right, that's hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I watched the video, but it started, we were hearing, but at a certain point in time, it was as if it was mute. Then it was to the tail end that we were hearing the voice. So for more or less, we are just seeing the motion without the voice.
That means you cannot understand it. Let me play one more time, please.
Definitely.
Please, because you needed to hear it. Yes, not just not the videos alone. You needed to hear it. I'll play it one more time so you can actually hear it. I think I was not sharing the sound. That was what happened. Yeah. Should now.
What is innovation? Life is made up of dots. Many, in fact most people, believe that the dots they see every day are all the dots there are. So life goes along according to these known dots. Decisions and solutions are based on these commonly known dots, as well as many conclusions too. Some companies build their entire businesses on these known dots. This we know as the status quo, business as usual. Then one day, someone comes along and sees one or more dots beyond the commonly agreed upon dots. Dots that others missed, dots that are ignored, dots that others have long since forgotten about. Some like these new dots and celebrate this new discovery, liking how things currently are and comfortable with everyday dots. Some protest these new dots. Some even claim they are invalid, or worse, are imaginary dots that don't even exist. Yet, it's these new dots that potentially change everything. What is the source of these new dots? Notions. Unexpected connections. Ideas. Possibilities. And imagination. Fire was one of these dots. So was the wheel, and the bicycle, and the automobile, and the computer, as well as the internet, the smartphone, and the tablet. In fact, many of today's common dots were at one time uncommon, newly introduced dots. So what is innovation? Those other dots, the ones others miss, and having the certainty to know that the dots you see are not only valid, but necessary if the world is to move forward.
Feedback. Hello? I'm sure you watched the video, and the video basically explains what the concept of innovation is about. Innovation is about looking out for new dots. That's basically what it is. It is you asking questions and finding out how or which ways it's possible to do things differently. So most of what we know today is basically, you know, they were like the obvious dots that were there before. They were like, maybe for example, your fan, the bicycle, the car, the laptop, right? They were new dots that made new connections. They were born out of notions. They were born out of asking questions. That's how it came about. But today, those things now are no longer innovative. They are like everyday things with us. We see them every day. We know them every day. You know, it doesn't feel like, oh, wow, this is a great laptop. No, it's just there. So for you to innovate, you need to find those new dots. However, some people see those new dots and do not recognize it. They say it doesn't exist. Some people see those new dots and they discard it. While some people see the new dots and they embrace it. They celebrate it. That's what differentiates companies that stops being innovative and companies that are still innovative. For example, many years ago, a company decided to carry the project to make a cheaper version of glue. They wanted to make a glue, but the experiment failed. So, and this guy kept on taking the failed glue to his home. And one day he discovered that this is a little bit sticky. And then he put it on a paper and he used the paper and sticked on another book and it stayed. So he was trying to make a very strong adhesive, but at the same time, he stumbled into making something that now became today what we call sticky papers. That's how sticky paper was invented. It was as a result of a failed project. But that single failed project became a dot that he embraced. He said what other people might call failure might be something new. And he saw that failure as something really new. And then he used that to create a sticky note. So innovation is everywhere. It's just probably you're not connecting the dots. So today we're just going to talk about the mind on how we can basically innovate within our space. I'm going to share my slide with you. This slide was created by a friend. They're taking the session before in my office when he was around. His name is David Idibe. He's the CEO of Design Cycle. And I'm going to be, with his permission, I'm sharing the slide to use the slide to teach how we can innovate in our business. So, but then I want to ask questions. When you looked at that, what did you learn? What did you see? You know, what concept was coming to you? Anyone? Let's try and let's participate. We'll be up out of this class by 2 by God's grace. Feedback, please. Okay, nobody wants to share. I really need you guys to talk. Feedback. When you watched the video I shared, what concept, what ideas, what did you learn, what did you observe?
Okay, this is Japheth. I think
Japheth,
let me about innovations. I believe that innovations are ways of doing things efficiently. They are ways of putting status quo to your discoveries, the way you visions your products, or let me say your ideas, how unique they can be, and how presentable you make them to the taste and preference of your target population.
Okay, I think your feedback is very valid. Thank you so much. So just to capture it wholly, beyond uniqueness, innovation is about striving to extend the ability, to make human life better. That's where innovation is centered at. So when you see electronics, when you see housing, when you see the aircraft, when you see cars, when you see medical, when you see new drugs, how do we advance the capabilities of our existence? That's where innovation is about. How do we extend it? So when they say that's an innovative company, it's not because they have a very nice logo. It's not because they have a very nice office or they pay very well. An innovative company is a company that has gone ahead to see how they can extend the capabilities of our human existence by creating things that makes our life better, more productive, or easier, right? So that's the center of innovation. And every business needs innovation to succeed or to be sustainable. Without innovation, one day you're going to die out. Example, BlackBerry. Example, Nokia. Example, Kodak. There are a lot of them that stopped being innovative. Kodak used to be the father of films. They used to make films. They used to make cameras. So, but then one of the staffs told them, I think there's a possible way we can make cameras without films. And because their business were into selling of films, those old cameras that you had to buy films and then you take shots and then you go back and watch the films. So, and they say, how do you say that there could be cameras without film, man? And they discarded it. That dot was powerful. They would have embraced it. And the other guy was not really happy. So Kodak were the first people that discovered a DSLR camera, what you call a digital camera, where you do not need films. But another company saw it and then they embraced it. Companies like Nikon and Canon embraced it. And right now, Kodak went out of business because nobody was using a camera that needed a film. People started using cameras that needed no films like the DSLRs. So if you keep doing the things the same way you have been doing it, and you're expecting a change, and that means you're either crazy, you understand, or they say you're crazy or insane, one of it. So you need to change the way you think. And so for us to be able to change the way we think, the way we do things, we need to have a perspective to how we see life so that we become attracted to innovation and not repelling innovation. We have to always find ways to receive or attract innovation. So let me just share my slide now. I think my slide is ready. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I just have a bit of cough. Okay, where is my slide? Where's my slide? Okay. Yeah, so that's it. So innovation in business, like I said, it was designed by my friend, who's also brother. So your mind, innovation has to do with your mind. Your mind is very, very powerful. If you know the number of wires, you know, information that your mind can take from your brain and to everything that makes up your mind, it's so powerful. So your mind is a very huge resource that we do not use. Sometimes a lot of us don't spend time to take out time and think. Thinking is supposed to be a daily exercise. You just take out time and think. And sometimes because we are no longer curious, everything, you don't have that a childlike mind anymore. So everything to you is like, oh, that's how, when you're a child, you ask, why is the stars in the sky? Will the sun ever fall? You ask a lot of questions. Those curiosity are very important, but probably when you're growing up, they always shut you down. And so you're not able to harness your curious mind. But here's an opportunity. You can still do that. Exercise your mind on a daily basis by thinking, asking questions. Questions asked would enable you to think. So your life and organization and your mind, they cannot be separated. Your life, your organization, and your mind cannot be separated if you must be innovative. Steve Jobs had that example. He was one of the most innovative persons in the 21st century. Your mind, your organization, which is your company, and your mind, they cannot be separated. You have to see them as one. It determines how you think. What this simply means is that you can't separate your life from your organization, from your mind. If you work on your life, you're going to be able to produce the things that are needed to make your organization better. And to work on your life, it will be rooted from your mind. So you must have a kind of mind that is imaginative. You need to be able to see. When last did you imagine? Some of us don't imagine again. When last did you imagine? When last were you able to have a very constructive, imaginative time where in your mind you're able to see things, build things in your mind? No matter what sphere of life you are, you need to find time to work on just your mind, because they're not separable. They are the same. They are one when it comes to innovation. They need to work together. Your imagination, your sight is your imagination. What you see is where your imagination comes from. Your sight is your imagination. Do you get it? Your sight is your imagination. So the things that you see, the things you expose your mind to see, will be the things that would add up to what to create that imagination in your mind. So if somebody has always lived in where nothing works, you live in a village, there's no light, there's no water, there's no good healthcare, and you kept on seeing that's a picture you see, you cannot imagine that there can be anything better. Do you agree with me? You cannot imagine there can be something else better, because that's what your mind sees. You've deconstructed your mind to the level that the only truth that you know is that this is how things are and it cannot change. We're not meant to fly. That's what they told the Wright brothers. They say, no, if there are birds in the air, that means man can fly. So how do you imagine things? How do you see things? Don't do things, don't replicate things just because that's the way things are. I'm just going to do it the same way. You need to imagine. So your sight is your imagination. And your understanding is how you think. So there's a how to think. It's different from your imagination, how to think. So now that you have an imagination mind, now that you have exposed your mind to seeing a lot of things, there's a how to think. How do you think, guys? How you think is very important. So I don't know if anybody can explain a little bit of that. Can anybody share with me how they think? How do you think? That looks like a question that, how do you even explain how you think? But there is, how do you think? Do you start thinking about problems or start thinking about solutions? So I can ask you a question. How long will it take you to make 100 million naira? That's the question. Guys, how long will it take you to make 100 million naira? Okay, Jafet.
I think it depends.
Okay.
Depends on the kind of business and then the profit margin I'm making as in that particular period of time.
Okay. Okay. So you see, your response to these questions also tells me about how you think. You think more from process, steps, right? You're trying to break it down. First, what kind of business am I doing? Secondly, what kind of margin do I make in the business? Third,
Yes.
how long will it take me to make this amount of money? So that's how you think, right? So the way you responded to this question, that might not be a general answer, but in response to this question, this is how I deduct that you think. And that's how you understand it. So your understanding is how you think. So however, somebody else can think this way again and say, to make 100 million naira, let me partner with somebody who's already a billionaire, right? I can partner with somebody who's already a billionaire and tell the person that I want to start up this business and I need 200 million naira in it. So that's how another person thinks about it. He's not thinking about the business. Just say, I need a billionaire. I need to find a billionaire. No matter how, I'm going to find a billionaire who can invest 200 million naira in my life or in my business or in a project or in something. I need to find a billionaire. People think differently. Another person might be thinking, if I'm going to make 200 million, I need to marry a girl from a very wealthy family and take over their company. There are different ways people think. So the way we think is how we understand things. So because we have different culture, beliefs, religion, the way we understand things is different. So society has structured humanity in a way that they should think one way. So when you go to school, you are expected to think in one particular way. But that's why you see people who drop out of school or people who do not like the school ways, they think differently and then they have different results from people who go to school. Not to say school is bad or not to say dropping out of school is good. I'm saying that you need to have a mind that is fluid. So changing how you think, you need to have a fluid mind, not a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset is that in my village, this is how they do it. I don't ask questions. This is how it must be. In my village, this is how they do things. In my tribe, this is how they do it. In my country, this is how they do these things. They don't change. No, everybody must go to school, must get a bachelor's degree, must get a PhD, master's, and then if you can't get a PhD, that's how it is. That's how we do our things. You can't change it. This is how it must be. That is not true. Your mind must be fluid to accept what is true. Not to accept anything, but to accept what is true. So if you have a fixed mindset that the only way to make money is to do this and that, then that will hinder you. The only way to do this thing in business is to do this and that. That's the only way you have a fixed mindset. You need to have a fluid mindset. So fluid mindset means that accepting things and weighing it on the basis of what is true. And what is true is always around you. I don't need to tell you what is true. Truth exists. It is something that exists that creation was made out of from. Do you understand? So when you take things and you weigh it from things that are true, or you weigh it on things that are true, your mind becomes fluid because you are able to accept it, not to rebuke it, or not to deny it, or to repel it. You were able to accept what is true when you have a fluid mind. Do you get? So that's what happens when somebody who has a fluid mind begins to think. Things begin to work in a way that is dynamic. Think about it. How would you ever have thought that cars would drive themselves? Somebody did not accept that it was possible. So your understanding is where possibility is created. It is where impossibility goes into and then it comes out as possibility. Your understanding. That's what it helps you do. So the way your understanding of things allow things to become possible. But if you do not understand it, it's not possible. That's why when you're in class and they were teaching mathematics, to some people they understood it, so it became possible for them. To those who do not understand it, it became impossible for them. So when you understand that 1 + 1 is 2, you begin to see possibilities. But when you don't understand that 1 + 1 is 2, it doesn't work. You can't make anything out of it. So your understanding is more like the bedrock of how you think. Your understanding is dependent on how you see things, which is your imagination. And from this, your life and your organization and your mind becomes unified. This is innovation. It looks like we're not talking business, but this is core part of understanding and becoming a successful business owner. Pride and truth is how to understand. What this means is, I talk about how you think, how you understand things. But how do you understand things? First, you can't be a proud person. You need to take away pride. You need to ask questions from people who you think you are better than. You need to be able to listen to their opinions and objectively look at it and don't just throw it away. That is how to think. And to not be proud, you need to understand that the only way to see the things that comes into your mind, the only way to see them is from the eyes of truth. Now, if you understand that, we're going to go to what is your business. It's almost 2 o'clock. So what is your true business? An analogy. I'm going to share an analogy with you. Let's take, for example, right, guys, you have a car, and inside the car, there is a goods, maybe a bag inside the car. There is a driver driving the car. I want you to respond. What is your business? What is your true business? In the car, in the goods, the driver, what is the true business inside? It's an analogy. Take, for example, you're driving a car and there's a goods inside the car, and then the entire car, makeup of the car. Which is it, would you say, is your true business? I don't know if you understand me. Japheth, Kosi, and Emmanuel. I need your feedback on this. If you can hear me, I need your feedback. What did you say, Kosi?
Network is cracking.
Okay, the network is breaking. I'm really sorry about the network breaking. Yeah. Okay. Manuel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You're clear. I think he has problem from his own network.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so in this analogy, what I'm basically trying to communicate is that most people think that the car is their business, without noticing that what is the true business is not the car, but the goods in the business. The package that is inside that car, from this analogy, is what is the business. That's the true business. So most times, people are so taking care of the car, trying to fix the car, without understanding that the meaning that you communicate is the goods that you are taking, you, the owner of the business, and the team in the business that is driving the car, to ensure that that value, which is the goods in the car, gets to the customer. That is your true business. So you need to concentrate on the goods. That's the goods inside the car and not the car. So when you look at the car holistically, you think, oh, the business is good. Meanwhile, there is nothing inside the car, or the value that you're carrying, or the meaning that you're trying to communicate is not inside the car. So the truth, the communication of what will make people to be delighted, the things that you do that will bring meaning. So your meaning has to bring delight. The way people interpret the things that you give in their business has to bring delight. That delight is what is your true business, not the car. So because you do ICT or you design website, because you design websites, your business is not designing a website. What the person uses the website to accomplish is the true business. It is the real business. So website is just a way to allow the person to accomplish that thing. And that thing you need to be able to communicate in so much way that it gives delight to your customers. When you continue to think about these things, you become more innovative because you're more centered about bringing delight to your customer than taking away their money from them. That is how innovation happens. Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs wasn't thinking about how he was going to become a billionaire. He was thinking about laptops or computers are too expensive. People needed to work in universities or in places like big companies to be able to have access to computers. How can I make computers portable, cheap, and affordable? That is unique. And that's what he was thinking. And then it became innovative. And then they produced the first Macintosh system. And they created the second Macintosh system. Right? Apple 1, rather, and then Apple 2. And then they created an operating system called the Macintosh operating system. So you need to understand that this is how innovation happens. And innovation, like I told you, is the lifeline of business. It's so important. So your delight will bring customer satisfaction to the true delight of the people. And it's also going to bring functional benefits and joy. Functional benefits and joy. You cannot be in the business, like I said, of gambling because people are going to lose money and you think that you are bringing true delight. You are bringing the benefit of joy. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. It doesn't work that way. So how innovation happens? Let's think about it. How does innovation happen? So I'm going to share these analogies where you have air, fuel, and then profit. So this is how innovation happens. Air. Have you been spending money trying to buy air? Any of you? Anyone? Not sure. So nobody spends money buying air. Air is basically really available. It's free to us. So every time we inhale and exhale, something is happening within us. And that's what is happening within us becomes a fuel to create profit. So you receive something so that you can make benefit, you can create value. So your existence, your total existence as a business or as an individual, like I told you, that your business, your mind, your organization, right, is all encompassed, is one, is unified. If you cannot separate yourself from it, that is fine. If you want to see yourself as an individual, that is where that innovation is born out from. So you take out something which is air, and then it becomes the fuel for you to profit. It is too important. You need to understand that this is what really makes you different. So the goat and the man analogy. I'm going to be fast with this. This is an analogy I like to really share. The goat, the man. Two different things. They both have a system, a working system. They are both living things. That's I prefer to say that they are both living things. They both can work, they can move, they can breathe. But you see, the goat and the man have two different missions. The goat, his only desire is to eat. That's how some people run their business, to eat, to take away from businesses, to take away from them. But the man, his existence is to add value, is to create, is to bring meaning. So as he continues to make his journey over and over, continue to conquer new territories, he's trying to bring meaning to life or to people. And in innovating your business, that is how you should see it. You should not think about it as something that, oh man, how am I going to just profit? You're seeing it from the perspective of creating meaning and value to more businesses. This is a very short how I put it, this is basically a very short presentation on innovation, because innovation is not something that can be captured in just one discourse. It can be captured in a lot of perspective. But I just wanted to believe that you understand that for you to innovate, you need to, it has to do with how you think, right? Which is how you think is your imagination. How your understanding, do you understand, is very important. And how to understand is very important. Once you know this, it's going to guide you in becoming an innovative person. I guess this has been a very long session, and especially that it's been online, people are tired. So I'm also very drained by this very presentation. So we might just, Kosi will have to call it. I'm done. I don't know if you have any question, but like I said, I put up the WhatsApp group. So in the WhatsApp group, that's when I'm going to share the information about the Agsmeis, how you can start the real training, where it's going to take 3 days, and what you need to begin the training, and the discount for everyone who has attended this session, so that they can begin their application if they are interested in accessing the loan from the CBN, you know. So that's what I want to share. Yeah. So Kosi, thank you. I don't know if you have any questions. If you do have questions, I'll be very glad to answer them and respond to them immediately. Let me know, please, if you have any questions. Do you have any question? Do you have any question, Kosi?
Sorry, I wanted to ask.
Okay, I show your network.
I think if we want to start the registration, how is it going to be?
I can't hear you. Maybe just type it. Can you type it? Can you type it, please?
Okay. All right, let me type.
Okay. Okay, so your question. Yes. So everything about the registration is going to be on the WhatsApp platform. That's why I said it's important for everyone to join the WhatsApp platform. I don't know if I still have the link. That's the link in case you haven't joined. So you can join the WhatsApp platform. Yeah, and I'm going to share the slides too on the WhatsApp platform, so you can have and then use. But also basically to do financing in your business. But then I think we'll just run that on the WhatsApp platform. I'll just send some basic materials so that those who are on the platform and could not join this last session will be able to do that. So thank you, Barnabas and Kosi. Thanks for joining the class. I believe it's been valuable. I like your feedback on the WhatsApp. Just tell us, just give us your feedback about today's sessions, what you learned, how the class was. I'll be very interested in having that. Thank you so much. And we'll have to bring this class to an end now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.